this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Welcome to Massive Late Fee, starring Mark and Carol. Hello everyone, welcome to Massive Late Fee for January 1st, 1994. Welcome to 1994, everybody. I am Mark. With me is my co-host, my beautiful girlfriend, Carol. How you doing, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Everything's going well. Just to let everybody know, this is a brand new thing that we're doing where we're just kind of making a recording about our thoughts on the entertainment industry, the movies that come out, TV shows that we love and everything. And just to kind of give you everyone our opinions and our thoughts on those different things. We're going to be going for, I don't know, we're going to come out every week. We're going to try to cover everything. Could last a few weeks, could last a few years, who knows. But anyway, welcome everyone to the show. I guess I'll start off with some of the news. The big song right now, Carol, is Mariah Carey's "Hero." Have you listened to that? It's everywhere.
Of course, I love Mariah Carey.
I'm not as big of a fan, but I do like the new song. It's kind of, it seems pretty catchy. I think it'll probably stick around. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's not my favorite of her songs, but I'm digging it.
So that's number one. So everyone driving to high school in your mom's car or whatever, you can tune that in on the old radio there and everything. Maybe if you've got one of those new CD players, you can buy that CD at your local
Sam
Goody Radio Shack, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Or Harmony House is still out there too.
Yeah.
Those play. One of the things that I love to do is we go down to Blockbuster and we get some tapes. And they've started this new thing where you can with your membership you can get a new kind of like extended membership thing where they're talking about maybe getting rid of late fees.
What?
Yeah, like...
Oh my gosh, I spend like $1 million on late fees.
Yeah, I know, it's a big problem. And one of the ones by our house is doing this thing where you can get like an add-on to your subscription. You pay like so much a month, but you can then take out a tape for like as long as you want and then just return it whenever, but you can only take a certain amount of tapes out at a time.
Like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. We have to do that.
Well, it's definitely something that I'm interested in looking into.
Can you get more than one?
I think it's limited to two, maybe.
Okay, well, we have to at least get two because you and I can never agree on a movie.
That's true. She likes the chick flicks, and I go more for I like a lot of comedy and everything, but some action every once in a while.
I also like horror.
That's true. Well, I like horror movies too. Haven't been a lot of great horror movies though in '93. The past few years there haven't been a lot of like super good ones. I almost feel like we're in like a lull horror movie wise, and maybe in the next few years, we'll have a resurgence in some good horror movies.
Well, that's why we gotta just stick with the classics, the good '80s horror movies.
There are a lot of those for sure, like Nightmare on Elm Street is always a classic, and Halloween. Halloween is so... They will never make another... They could never redo that. They could never...
Oh, for sure.
They could never recreate something like the magic of the first Halloween movie.
Like, totally. It's the best.
But some of the other things... it was just Christmas, obviously, because we're in the new year now. I heard basically the way we're going to do this episode is we're going to kind of talk about a few different movies that came out in December because we obviously weren't there because we just started this now. But we're gonna do that, and we're gonna talk about new movies that come out that we see and everything. Because Carol and I we have a lot of dates at the movie theater and everything, and we're going to try to talk about some news that I heard. Like, I heard one of the movies that we're going to talk about is Philadelphia, with Tom Hanks, which just came out, and Carol and I just saw that recently. And
So sad.
I heard that the next movie that Tom Hanks is going to do is going to be based on a book by this guy named Winston Groom. I've never heard of this book or this guy, but Robert Zemeckis is going to direct it from Back to the Future. So, Back to the Future and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So I like a lot of his movies, and Tom Hanks, I always thought was super funny, and big and everything like that. But he's going to do this new movie based on this book called Forrest Gump.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I think it's kind of supposed to be like this guy's life, and I think he sees a lot of like things like he goes through like his whole life. I don't know if it's gonna be like super serious like Philadelphia, the one he just did, or if it's gonna be kind of a return to comedy for him. But I heard that they've started filming that now, and that's supposed to come out I think in the summer of this year.
Okay, well, we'll have to check it out. I love Tom Hanks.
So that's one that I'm interested in seeing for sure. January is kind of a slow time for movies. If you guys haven't noticed, there's not a lot of good movies that come out. The one of the ones that opened today was speaking of horror movies, was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning or something like that. It's got this dude named what's his name? Matthew McConaughey is in it. Okay. And this other blonde chick, her face looks all super squinty and stuff. I think her name is Renee something. But anyway, so like that's another sequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I haven't heard very good things about it, but we might check it out at some point.
Yeah, well, I mean, they should have just left it alone. It's a classic.
Yeah, I don't understand why they keep making sequels to movies. There's so many sequels all the time. Just make new ones. Make new movies.
Come up with something original.
It's just too many sequels all the time. It's like, I understand, you made a movie and it's good and you really like it, but so you want to make another one, you want to make a sequel and everything. I mean, at least they didn't redo it, but just stop with the sequels. Just new movies. I don't need to see a fifth Texas Chainsaw. I think this is the fourth one, but I don't need to see another one. So anyway, another thing that we're going to do, another segment that we're going to have on the show is there's a show, and I'm sure you guys are all aware of it, Saved by the Bell, The College Years. It's been going for a few episodes now. It's great. It's like the best. I mean, take everything that you loved about Saved by the Bell, move it to college, and then like make them like adults and give them kind of adult situations and everything. It's so awesome. And I know Carol is not as big of a fan as I am about it. They can't see your face, right? But yeah.
Oh, honey, you have to get over this. I mean, we're talking about not making sequels. What do you think this is?
Well, this is more of just like a continuing story of, Zach Morris and AC Slater. And they made the great decision to bring Kelly into the show. She, obviously, as you guys might know, because I'm sure you guys are all watching it, she wasn't in the show at the beginning. And, that was kind of a bummer. But now she's in the show, and it's just, you know, their relationship's kind of still developing and everything. I think this is a show that can go on for like 10 years, you know, like really be a big hit.
Seriously.
Yeah, because, you know, you want to see like how they grow and change and like become adults and everything. So anyway, I'm going to do a recap of every week. I'm going to do a recap of the episode of the week.
Oh, yay.
From Saved by the Bell, the college years. So this episode was called A Question for Ethics, or A Question of Ethics. And at the beginning, Zach is in ethics class, okay? And he loves ethics class because his teacher really doesn't care, doesn't like challenge them or anything. And it's a super easy class. At the very beginning of the episode, we find out that his teacher has won the lottery. Oh. So she quit. So new teacher comes in, and it's Benson from that show Benson, you know, a few years ago. Uh-huh. Robert Guillaume is his name. And he's like real hard-nosed, and he's challenging them and everything and stuff. He asks them, and this is part of the comedy of the show, he asks them a really simple question that no one wants to answer for whatever reason. But he says, if someone had an idea, if you worked at a business and someone had an idea that you could steal, would you steal that idea and use it as your own to get ahead in business? And they was asking if it was ethical, and everyone's kind of avoiding the question. And Zach just says to him, you know, what would happen if I did it? Would I get promoted? And he said, yeah, you know, you'd become vice president, you'd get stock options, 6-figure salary, whatever it is, you know. And so Zach's like, yeah, you know, I would do it, which I guess is honest but dumb for a ethics class.
Right.
So anyway, so this guy's really like a real hard guy, and there's a B story with Screech about how he's taking over for Slater at being a busboy at the student restaurant.
Okay.
And you know, obviously he's having a lot of problems. That one's not as entertaining as the main story, but anyway, so at one point the professor, he drops the test on accident.
Oh.
And the big midterm they've all been studying for. And Zach finds it, and he takes it to his friends, and they have to decide if they're going to use it or not.
It sounds like this is the test.
So, well, see, you're onto something. So they, you know, they're like just debating whether or not they're going to do it and everything. They rip it up and they put it in the garbage. And then at one point they go out to the dumpster and they all kind of go one by one, you know, looking for it. And then they discover each other and everything. And so they're crawling around this dumpster. It's hilarious.
I'm sure.
But anyway, so, you know, they find it, and then, you know, you don't know what they're going to do with it. So next day they go into class, and Benson tells them that, you know, like, he throws out the midterm. And they're like, oh, we don't have to take a test? And he was like, well, you know, I strategically, throughout the course of the week, left copies of the test around for people to find. And like you said, the test was whether or not you were going to do it. And so he asks them how they did. It's so funny, too, because he's just taking their word for it.
Right.
He's not even like putting any kind of test to it at all. He's just taking their word for it. But he's like asks them what the grade that he thinks they should get, you know, based on how they did on this test. And they're all kind of honest, you know, and everything. And they get to Zach, and Zach's like, you know, I didn't cheat. You know, he's like, I wanted to, but, you know, like something made stop me, you know, and everything. So he, you know, passes, obviously. And then we kind of learn that this guy is, you know, actually like a really good teacher and stuff. So, you know, that was cool beans. So, you know, that's kind of like how the episode all wraps up. But there wasn't a ton of Kelly in this episode.
I'm sorry.
But so, you know, it was a really good episode, though. I think everyone's going to like it. I'm sure everyone liked it. You know, we'll talk about the episode next week, but I give it a big thumbs up. And, you know, obviously I think this show is going to go on for a long time.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will, dear.
But I guess we'll get into our main topic today, which is the movies that came out in December and kind of what we thought of them. So I'll go through the list of movies. You tell me which ones you've seen. I think we've seen most of them together.
Okay.
But let's see. So starting with on the 8th was 6 Degrees of Separation. Did you see this movie?
No.
See, I watched this movie, and it's what's her name? Stockard Channing. She's like kind of big in on the stage and stuff, but she's done movies before too. I think she was in Grease, from way back when.
Who did she play in Grease?
I think she was the Rizzo.
Oh, okay, I know who that is.
Anyway, so she was in this movie, and this and Will Smith was in this movie, The Fresh Prince.
Okay, yeah, I know who Will Smith is.
So no Jazzy Jeff, but he was in this movie. It's kind of like his first like big movie. It's I guess it's getting really good reviews. It's not super popular, but he plays this black guy. Well, obviously he's black, but he plays this kid, who like Stockard Channing's they're rich basically. They've got a lot of money and everything, and he pretends to be related to someone that they know. And so he kind of uses that to get in with the family. It's sort of like a con kind of thing.
Okay.
And so that's sort of I don't want to give anything away to anybody, but that's kind of the plot of the movie, to where and what's he gonna do? Is he gonna like rob them? Is he gonna you know what I mean? Kind of thing. And it's a really good movie. I think everyone should see it. And Fresh Prince is really good in the movie, and he really shows off some like pretty serious dramatic acting.
Oh wow, that would be interesting to see.
So I think, he's known for his music for the most part, and comedy too. But yeah, like really known for his music, and but I think that he might become like a really serious actor and do like a bunch of really serious roles.
I don't know. I guess I'll have to see this movie.
Yeah, you got to watch the movie though, because he's really good in it. Like he does a really good job of being like a super serious actor. Okay. So you got to check that out. The next one, I love this movie. Wayne's World 2 came out December 10th. I loved the first Wayne's World. This is a sequel. I know what we said about sequels before, but this is a sequel that might be like as good as the original movie.
I disagree.
You don't like this movie?
Did we see the same movie?
Well, what didn't you like about the movie?
It was just stupid. It's that stupid kind of comedy. It was not funny.
But what about like the part where he goes to the desert and he sees like Jim Morrison? He has the big like and like when they go to the bank, and that one comedian guy is there, and he's got a glass left eye, and without knowing, he's like, oh, I'd give my left eye to have this kind of, and it's You didn't find any of that funny?
No.
Oh man, and Ed O'Neill, the guy from Married with Children, as the diner guy, that guy needs to get another TV show. Because that guy has not done well in the movies, but he's really good on TV. Huh. I think he would be popular if he got another TV show. But anyway, I just like that stuff with the dinosaurs. That stuff's the best to me.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I really liked Wayne's World 2. Maybe you guys could write us a letter, and send it in the mail. Or like if you see us at school tomorrow or something like that, you can tell us like what you think about Wayne's World 2, because I think more people are going to be with me and say that they think that they like Wayne's World 2.
I think that there are a lot of people who think that it's stupid.
Well, you definitely have strong opinions. The next movie that came out was another kind of sad movie. Like, this brought me down. Schindler's List.
Oh, heartbreaking.
It's that movie about the Holocaust that happened in World War II. We learned about that like I like kind of towards the beginning of the year, I think. But yeah, we talked about it in history class, and yeah, so we saw the movie. Well, I went with my parents. This is one that we didn't see together. I think you went with your mom, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was my mom especially was, like, she was, we're not Jewish or anything. So we don't have like a close tie to it like Steven Spielberg does, but she is kind of from that time because she was born around World War II, and like, she was super sad about it. But it was a really sad movie.
Oh, so sad. Mom and I went through a whole little package of Kleenex.
But yeah, those with the keeping the purse, yeah. But yeah, it was like, I was like, after, it was so funny because I guess maybe it does kind of inspire you to learn, because after I saw the movie, I went to my encyclopedia and I looked up the Holocaust and everything, and kind of was like reading about it and stuff, and then like reading about Oskar Schindler in the encyclopedia. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's really like, but he did a lot of good, like, he saved a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that was, that was a cool thing in the movie. But yeah, there was like, it was just so bad, and I didn't realize. I mean, obviously, all those people died, and that's bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
But I mean, I didn't realize like how the whole country was like a prison, kind of, like, it was really.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, just like a really, and that girl in the dress,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's the only bit of color in the movie. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this movie because it's a really popular movie. But yeah, it was a downer.
It's funny. You and I have such different reactions because, I was heartbroken after seeing it. I'm glad that I saw it. I think everyone should see the movie, but I'm done now. Like, I want to stop, and you go and like, you're like, I want to learn more about this terrible, painful stuff.
Well, I like to learn stuff. Like, I like to learn about, the facts on stuff and everything. And I wanted to see kind of how accurate the movie was, but I guess it's pretty accurate, which is unfortunate.
I like to learn too. I'm just, it's too heavy.
Well, you should tell your grades that you
Hey!
like to learn. So the next movie that came out, we saw together, which was this was one of our date night movies. It's called What's Eating Gilbert, Grape, with Johnny Depp, that guy from 21 Jump Street, and I don't know, he's done some other stuff too.
Yeah, and the new guy, Leonardo.
Oh, the one from Growing Pains. He was the little kid on Growing Pains.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's DiCaprio.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he plays the kid that's like, there's something wrong with him, mentally challenged. But it was kind of like, that was another one that was kind of sad.
But it was so good.
But it was really funny in parts, too. So their mom, like, okay, so Edward Scissorhands, Johnny Depp, and the Leonardo kid, they're brothers. And they live in this poor, like, area. And their mom is really big. Like, she's, like, very heavy woman. And it presents a lot of problems because she doesn't really get around, and she doesn't go places a lot. And Johnny Depp's wants to, like, get out there and he wants to like go live his life. He wants to move away from this small little town and everything, but he feels tied there because his mom can't do much, and he's got to take care of his brother and stuff. And he meets this girl, and they kind of have like a romance type thing. But yeah, I mean, like, what did you think of the movie? Like, what was your kind of like overall impressions? What did you like about it?
Well, I think that Leonardo guy did such a good job. I mean, I really, really believed that he was challenged, and just the emotions that the movie brought out. I mean, like you said, it's funny in parts. It was sad, and I really root for Johnny Depp's character. I don't know. I really fell in love with the characters in the movie.
Yeah, and like Johnny Depp does a really good job too. Like I think the Leonardo kid might get an Oscar nomination or like win an Oscar for the movie.
Oh, he would deserve it.
I know that those are coming out later this month, the nominations, and we're gonna check like the newspapers and everything to keep like informed about stuff. So when they print them in the newspapers, or if we watch them on Entertainment Tonight, that we can give those out to you guys on this. And like mostly we'll probably be passing this around like the school and stuff like that. So when school comes back after break, we'll probably be over by my locker or by the gym. Like that door that goes out to the gym, by the gym, door that goes outside. Like we'll see you guys there, and we'll start passing them out and stuff, and you guys can just put them in your tape player and listen to them and everything. But anyway, so yeah.
But you know what, ladies out there, I gotta say that Gilbert's he can deliver my groceries any day. You tell me if you don't agree.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what I think. Like that, Johnny Depp, sure, he's got a pretty good career going and everything, but I like maybe, and you never know, but maybe, I think maybe he kind of just goes away. You know what I mean?
What?
Well, I mean, like, this movie's not that popular and everything, and he did that Edward Scissorhands with Tim Burton and stuff, but Tim Burton did Batman and everything, and that, like, and Batman Returns and stuff, and now, like, he's moving on to other stuff. I hear he's gonna make, some movie about the Ed Wood, the director and everything. And like I just I think maybe he's done with Johnny Depp.
So okay.
Johnny Depp might never work with Tim Burton again.
But I mean, does he have to work with Tim Burton?
Well, who else puts him in movies?
Who did this one?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Not Tim Burton.
Well, yeah, I know it wasn't Tim Burton, obviously, because it's not like a weird horror-y thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying.
You're not taking away my Johnny.
Well, we'll see. I mean, maybe it would be better if he stopped now instead of like, because who knows? Like, he could devolve into like some weird foppish character of himself.
Whatever.
Anyway, so yeah, she's really into Johnny Depp and the groceries. So the next movie that came out, this has been like a sad month for movies. Like, I know, like, Christmas time is supposed to be happy and everything, and I had a good Christmas. I know you had a good Christmas.
Well, only because I got to spend it with you.
Aww. But Philadelphia is the next movie that came out.
Okay, definitely sad.
Yeah, and that one, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And like Tom Hanks, like I said before, I almost said Risky Business, but he wasn't in that one. He was in Bachelor Party. That's the one I was thinking of. Like Bachelor Party and The Burbs. I love The Burbs.
It's a funny movie.
But like usually, and Big, obviously, he's usually in really funny comedy movies. I was young, but everyone kind of remembers him from Splash when that came out. But this one is like he did a really good job. Here's another guy that's probably going to be nominated for an Oscar when they do the Oscar nominations later this month. But like really sad. He plays a lawyer who gets AIDS. He's gay. And and I know, like, because I learned in health class that not only gay people get AIDS,
Right.
but it's like it's kind of bad for those people, I guess.
More of them get AIDS.
But so he's gay, and Antonio, Spanish guy, Antonio Banderas, that's his name, plays his partner, and his boyfriend. And so he gets AIDS, and he works for this big law firm, and he starts to get sick and everything, and starts to become noticeable because he loses a lot of weight, and he's going through all this stuff, and he ends up telling them that he has AIDS. The people that run this law firm, I think they call him I don't know, like partnership or something. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so he tells them that, and they fire him.
So fucking wrong.
So, yeah, they fire him for, like, having AIDS and being gay, I guess. I don't know. But so he sues them. And then Denzel Washington, who you probably remember from Glory, and he's been in a couple other things, and he plays his lawyer. Mm-hmm. And he's got this great line. It's so funny. I think this line will probably last for a long time. People will probably use it years from now, where he says, his big thing is he says, "Explain it to me like I'm 5." Mm-hmm. It's like to get people to talk on the witness stand and everything. But he's really good in the movie too, and Tom Hanks is really good in the movie. Like, I've never seen him be kind of so. There are a few moments in Big where he plays real serious,
right?
But this is like the first time I've ever seen him in a super like serious way.
Yeah.
And he's really good in the movie, and the movie's really good. It's sad, obviously, because this guy's got, a terrible disease, and I think everyone remembers anyone who's a fan, and you being a fan of horror movies. Oh, I don't know how big of a fan you are of this one, but Anthony Perkins, who was in Psycho, mm-hmm. He died last year of AIDS, and there are other people, obviously, that get sick. Magic Johnson and stuff like that. That was when that came out, that was a big story. That have AIDS and everything, and it's it sucks that Magic Johnson in like a couple of years is probably gonna die from AIDS. It's terrible. But
and what sucks is he's sick. Mm-hmm. And he's got his lover, and they should just be spending time together and enjoying this last bit of time, and instead they've got to do this legal battle, and it's not fair and not right.
Yeah, and obviously the movie goes through a lot of different emotional kind of things, like different highs and lows and stuff like that, because he the whole time he's getting sicker, because there's really nothing they can do about it,
right?
So it's really sad, and it kind of hits home with like, geez, it was maybe less than 10 years ago when, like, we'd never even heard of AIDS, and, all this stuff happens and everything. And it seems like they're getting a better handle on it, like helping control it and stuff. And obviously, I know that we're in high school and everything, but, anyone that's being sexually active, you got to stay safe and use protection and everything. So that's like our the more like public service announcement to you guys. But definitely be safe when you're doing what you guys do out there. But yeah, it's like, it's really a sad movie, but it's really good too. It's another one of those, like, that's really powerful.
What would you do if you knew you only had a certain amount of time left? Would you have fought a battle to try to make a point, or would you have tried to just enjoy your time?
Well, see, now, for me, like, personally, I probably would have just tried to enjoy my time, but, like, I get why we root for him, and like the sacrifice that is
Yeah.
to, because he's fighting for because he's gonna die, and he's fighting for people that he's never gonna see that like come after him. You know what I mean? So that the same thing can't happen to them, and it is like a sacrifice.
It is.
But yeah, I mean that's one of the the powerful things about his character in the movie. But yeah, I mean, I would probably just enjoy myself because I don't think I don't have that in me.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm too selfish too.
But I don't know if you saw this one. This is another one that I saw with some friends of mine. This came out Christmas Day. I didn't see it until a couple days later because obviously we were together on Christmas. But Grumpy Old Men with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, and they're fighting over what is her name? Anne Margaret?
Yeah, my mom dragged me to see it.
Now, I liked this movie a lot. I saw this movie with my mom too. And obviously, these are actors from like their time. So, it was kind of like maybe more for them type thing. The guy that was in Wayne's World 2 as the guy with the one eye is actually also in this too. And he plays Jack Lemmon, or Walter Matthau's son. He's a comedian, stand-up comedian. His name is Kevin Pollak. And he's really good in it too. I kind of like him a lot. But yeah, like I thought it was really funny. Like I was surprised how funny I thought it was because it's kind of more for like fully grown adults.
Right.
But I really thought that it was a really funny movie.
It was funny.
And I laughed a lot at it. And like I guess Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon are really good friends. And they've known each other for a long time, and they were in other movies together and stuff.
Yeah, you can tell they have good chemistry.
They were in this movie, The Odd Couple, where they, that was like a TV show that was on reruns when I was a kid. I think it was on in the 70s with Jack Klugman and Tony. I can't think of his name. Tony something.
I don't know. I'm no good with those names.
But Tony Randall and Jack Klugman. But yeah, so that was a TV show that was in reruns when I was a kid. But I guess there was a movie before that, and that was Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. Oh. So it seems like this is kind of like sort of like that because they're different types of people and they're feuding and stuff. But it was really I laughed a lot. It was a really funny movie.
It was very funny. What was your favorite part?
Well, I think some of they play a lot of pranks on each other, and maybe like the ice fishing part that might have been my favorite part. I think.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, me too. That was definitely the highlight of the movie.
But then the other movie that came out, I saw this the next day, was Tombstone. Did you see Tombstone?
No.
So Tombstone was about the Old West, and it was like Wyatt Earp and those guys, and Doc Holliday, and that was a really good movie. Like it's one of those kind of like Western action movies. I know there's not a ton of Westerns anymore. Yeah. Carol doesn't like Western movies. There's a TV show that I like that is Western themed, and she will not watch it with me. No matter what I try to do, she just will never watch it for me.
I already told you my price.
That might be too high of a price to pay, I think.
Your call, you lose.
But it's called The Adventures of Brisco County Jr., and it stars this guy named Bruce Campbell, who was in, he's actually from around here. He's from Michigan. But I like it a lot, and it airs around the X-Files, so.
Yep.
But, yeah, she likes the X-Files, but she will not watch The Adventures of Brisco County Jr.
Absolutely not.
But Tombstone, it's got Val Kilmer in it, and he kind of takes like the whole thing, like he kind of steals the whole movie as Doc Holliday, and he's all like just I don't know, just kind of like it doesn't seem like he's from the Old West. Maybe it seems like he's a little more modern, kind of playing it a little more modern, because he's all kind of cool and stuff like that. But he's really good in the movie, and like I think it's probably worth it to see it just for him. But basically, kind of all the stuff that we saw in December, I think was really good. Like I enjoyed all the movies that I saw in December. Were there any that you kind of didn't like?
No, nothing that I really... No, Wayne's World 2. Yeah, I did not like Wayne's World 2.
Okay, so Wayne's World 2 would be the one that you would kind of like, I'm never going to watch. Like, we're not going to rent that from Blockbuster then.
Right.
But, yeah, I think I might even rent Grumpy Old Men from Blockbuster when that comes out. Not like next year or whatever when that comes out. Because it takes like a year for everything to come out.
I guess. I mean, it was funny, but I don't know if I really want to see it, like, over and over again.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I liked it a lot. But, yeah. There's a lot of things that, we could probably rent. We should do that where we have, a segment of the show going forward where it's like, like rental
review.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a good title, rental review. So where we do like we talk about all the movies that are like out in or like have just come out for rental or whatever. Because like everyone gets that sheet and they read it. What's coming out next and everything. But yeah, that I think that would be good. So maybe we'll do that next episode, guys.
Hey, speaking of stuff coming out though. You know what I got? And tell me if you got this. An AOL disc in the mail.
No, what's that? AOL?
Yeah. It's this disc they send you for free.
Okay.
And you use it to connect to the internet. And
that's that thing on the computer?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you can send email. Like you log in and it goes,
what is email?
Mail. It's like mail, but it's like electronic. Like I can I'll give you a disc. I'll give you one of the discs. But
okay.
If you set up an online email account, then like from my house, I could write to you, and you'd get it right away. And there's also like a thing that's called like instant messaging, where like we can message each other like immediately.
So like okay, so I just got a computer for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a Gateway, and I got like Oregon Trail and
Oh, I love Oregon Trail.
Yeah, and I got a couple other I got a couple puzzle games and stuff, like role playing type like games where you go through and you solve stuff. But so you're telling me that I could be on my computer, and I could write like "Hi Carol," and then you would see it on your computer?
Yeah. And we have to both be on at the same time.
That is weird.
Or if like you wanted to say something and I'm not there, then you email.
So that's where like I write you a note and it gives it to you later?
But you know what's even cooler? Is they have these things called chat rooms.
Okay.
And other people that are on, you're all in this chat room and you all just type to each other. So like I was talking last night to a guy in Texas.
What were you saying to a guy in Texas?
No, nothing like that. I mean, he was just talking to me about, how he's like on a farm and raising animals and yeah.
So you can talk to like anyone anywhere?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
And just so you know, because I had to ask, when somebody says ASL, it means age, sex, location. That's like how they greet each other.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Well, I heard something about this, I think, but I haven't gotten a disc. I think Kenny at school said he got a disc in the mail, so maybe like I'll get one soon too. But okay, so that's like I guess that's entertainment-ish. Yeah. So I guess we could talk about that too. Like, so this is like I don't know, just so it's like a thing for kids, basically. We're like for high schoolers like us.
I guess so. I mean, the guy I was talking to in Texas was like 30, so he was old. But...
Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So, huh.
When we're done with the show, I can help you set one up. Do you know what my username is?
No, what?
Romantica.
Okay.
What do you want your username to be?
Well, let me think. Maybe Magic Mark.
I like that.
So, like, I don't know. Because, yeah.
Magic Mark, because you're magic.
So to kind of end the show today, we'll go through sort of like what was on TV and, you know, the different shows we watch. Because I know that it can be hard to pick kind of what show to watch. So Tuesdays, obviously, is, I think everyone's watching ABC on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Full House, you know. So everyone watches Full House. And then Roseanne and Coach. So obviously we're all watching Roseanne. You know, Roseanne is hilarious.
Roseanne's one of my favorite shows.
Everyone loves her. I cannot imagine a time when people wouldn't like her.
Oh, she's the best.
For any reason at all.
Hilarious.
But yeah, she's the best.
She reminds me of my Aunt Carol.
Okay. Yeah.
They both have that, I don't know,
I can kind
tough mama thing going on.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Obviously, early on Tuesday, everyone's watching the 8:00 one. Everyone's watching Saved by the Bell, the college years.
Of course, everyone is.
So that's you know, and then Wednesday at 9:00, also ABC, because ABC's having a really good year. Home Improvement.
Oh.
Tim Allen, yeah, and like, you know, dinosaurs too. The Critic's on. I like that show too.
Oh, The Critic's funny.
But we might break down like some you know, kind of like episode by episode stuff later. But Thursday is all about NBC for everybody, and like, you know, obviously a lot of these shows are on break right now for Christmas and the holidays and stuff. But you know, like Thursday on NBC is just like the juggernaut, because it's Mad About You, Wings, Seinfeld, Frasier, LA Law. It's just like they're all like top shows.
Mad About You and Frasier. I like those.
I like Seinfeld.
Seinfeld I like too, but I love Mad About You.
The last episode was really funny because it was called The Conversion, and George was converting to Latvian Orthodox for a woman, and like Kramer goes to drop him off and stuff, and this nun like kind of starts to fall for Kramer. She's like a nun in training.
Ew.
And she doesn't want to like take her final vows because she's like in love with him and stuff.
Oh.
And Jerry finds a tube of fungicide in his girlfriend's medicine cabinet. So he's all freaked out because he doesn't know what kind of fungus she has.
Play hide the fungus.
And he's such a neat freak, you know.
Right.
So, like, he goes through, and obviously it's a big misunderstanding because, you know, that Jerry Seinfeld, he knows how to do comedy and stuff. But, yeah, so that's, you know, that's the big thing. I don't watch much TV other than those nights, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Because Monday I'm usually doing, like, studying and stuff, and Friday we're going out and, like, the weekend and everything. So that's kind of, like, the 3 nights that I actually watch anything.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, so we'll probably go, like, you know, we'll next week we'll pick a couple episodes of something, and maybe like I'll go through them kind of like I'm gonna do the Saved by the Bell, the college years every week, and I'm telling you, they're gonna have jobs for, I mean, they're set for life, you know.
Maybe, honey, but I'll tell you what, you'll be watching it for life on your own.
Oh, come on. I think it's popular. Saved by the Bell, the regular show when they were in high school, was super popular. Yeah. I think this is. I mean, it's the same audience, you know.
Maybe, honey.
But anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this first episode, and we hope you come back next week for other episodes. We'll be here every Tuesday. if you want to like let us know something that you want to hear or something that you want us to talk about, you can go. You can go come to my locker 241. You can go to Carol's locker, locker 351. Or you can like write us a letter, send it to my house, or you can send it to Carol's house. And I guess you can do an email.
Yeah, romantica@aol.com.
So you can send that somehow to, and Carol's going to show me later how to do it, but you can send that to her, and like just write whatever you want about, like, what do you want to hear. So anyway, that's all for us. We will say goodbye, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening.